G'day, it's Ash for Kapow. I'm standing in King Street, Newtown, which is about 5k south of Sydney's CBD. It's an eclectic mix of people and cultures and a long-standing crucible of the queer community. Newtown is as individual as the people that frequent it. Coldplay liked it so much they even featured it in the film clip. From Friday afternoon, this strip transforms into Sydney's weekend go-to for food, fun and frivolity. The selection of cafes, restaurants and bars along the strip is more than you can handle in a weekend. Trust me, I've tried. You can experience everything from a KB and a kebab to a glass of Grange and some fine dining. While Newtown is a place where traditionally it's difficult to stand out in a crowd, we found a bar that's a pop culture gem. It's almost like stepping back in time. Imagine, Reebok pumps are all the rage. Guns N' Roses are smashing the charts. And the late Bert Newton is still hosting the Logies. The year is 1989, and so is the name of the bar. Nestled in the northern end of King Street combines the modern nostalgia of Stranger Things and the gritty retro vibe of Terminator 2. This place is the holy grail of arcade gaming. Normally, you'd need a DeLorean or the Time Stone to find such treasures. However, one man has built a fixed portal into the era when arcade gaming ruled the weekends. And the man responsible for creating this time machine of electronic goodness is Ben. Welcome along, Ben, to Kapow, and thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for inviting me on. It's great to have you guys here.
Why 1989?
Okay, yeah, this is the question I get asked quite a lot. And when I first opened the bar, people were like, are you a big Taylor Swift fan? Because she has an album called 1989. And no, well, I like Taylor Swift, I'm not that much of a fan. No, it's because of this arcade machine right behind us here. So this is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Hero Turtles. It came over with me from the UK, and it was made in 1989. So my favorite arcade ever. My first arcade in the collection, made in 1989, so I named the bar after that. Which kind of hints to the era when arcades were still cool and you had kids that used to come and play in the arcades and all that kind of stuff, so I kind of just pinched that and thought, that's a nice time capsule style name.
So all the games sort of revolve around that era. What's the age bracket of the games? What sort of years are we talking?
Late 70s, so Space Invaders, which is our oldest cab here, which was 79. From 79 up to, I think we've got a cab here from 2006. Yeah. Basically, if it runs off an old school CRT monitor, if it's part of what is now considered retro, as in like a classic game, then we put it here. Having games like this in a bar in this kind of setting, there's also a community, like a new community that's grown around retro gaming. And I think that's been a really fun thing to sort of embrace and nurture here in Sydney. Just people who come in and want to put down like a high score or a world record. That's the kind of stuff we do here as well. Like a lot of these cabinets, because they're original hardware, we're able to, you know, get people to come in and actually put down official world record high scores. This bar has 4 or 5 official world records put in here. We've got games like Metal Slug 2, Wonder Boy, Point Blank. Like over the years, we've kind of built on our tournaments on the arcade games, especially like fighting tournaments, things like one-on-one fighting tournaments on Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter 2 are super popular. So we run tons of those. We put it on the big screen, we pack it out, this room out with people watching. So it's like a sporting event, but within the bar, and they're really fun. And we also do like Mario Kart competitions, which are always really popular, like 4-player competitions. We do beer tasting events with arcade masterclasses, which are called Coin Hop, where we invite a brewery to come in. And for a cost of a ticket, you get 4 beers, a Q&A session, a masterclass on a game, and then a competition on that game where you can win beer. So that's really fun. We do comedy nights, trivia, all this kind of usual stuff that bars do. But in keeping with the community side of things, we also recently have started doing VHS screenings, because obviously we're big movie fans, like, and we love like really kind of weird cult stuff. So we screen stuff directly for VHS for the best 4:3 fuzzy picture and sound. And it's all like science fiction, fantasy, horror stuff. And we do that upstairs. We do a massive like 3-meter screen upstairs. So that's really fun. So yeah, tons of stuff. And then also with the bar aspect is making sure that we have a bar that people want to come into. Almost like if you could take out these games, that we've still got an environment that people like to come and hang out. That's why we focus on like craft beers, especially in Australia. And being down the road from Marrickville, Australia and Marrickville, like the whole thing is like booming in terms of the craft beer industry.
How much of the theme of 1989 bleeds into the beer menu?
Right now, we've got a beer from Staves, with brewery down in Glebe, and it's called VHS. And it's like, well, we have a wall made of VHSs, and we do VHS screenings, so we'll get it on because it's in theme. So our cocktail menu, for instance, we have a a Donkey Kong cocktail, which is called It's On Like Donkey Kong. That's probably the biggest sort of thematically linking kind of cocktail we do. And
is that served in a barrel?
It isn't. It should be. I missed a trick there. Holy moly. Okay, I'll get that sorted for next week. No, it's served in a regular cocktail glass, but it is basically, you know, it's made with coconut shavings, banana syrup, that kind of stuff. So it all fits in taste-wise and thematically with Donkey Kong. Then we have a toasty cocktail, which is our Mortal Kombat cocktail, because obviously in Mortal Kombat 2, you get a guy who comes out every now and again and goes, toasty!
Yeah.
So that's like a fireball cinnamon whiskey-based cocktail.
You've set up here in lovely Newtown. What sort of clientele are you getting through the doors?
When I first opened, I was like, oh, we're definitely going to get people my age. So, you know, the 30s to 40 bracket, which grew up with all these games. But since we've been here and, we kind of found our crowd a bit more, we're actually seeing more youngsters coming in. So more of the uni crowd down the road, where now the idea behind old classic games and coming in, having a beer and cocktail and being in this atmosphere is now kind of cool and trendy. So we're getting like kids who are in their early 20s coming in and discovering Donkey Kong for the first time because they've heard their mates talk about it or something like that. And that really excites me. When we get like the group of young kids in, like the 20-year-olds who come in, like order their VBs at the bar and go and hang upstairs, I'm like, awesome, because we hadn't had that for so long. And like this year and last year, we started seeing that, which is really good. And then, yeah, you obviously get the parents who come in, bring their kids in, relive the classics, you know, as they were back in the day. Show them how to do Street Fighter 2, all that kind of stuff, Mortal Kombat, you know. Daddy, you grew up playing these games with my mates, and I'll show you how to do Hadouken. I love that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. It's been great. My kids have actually come in today, and they've loved it. And the nostalgia for me, it's seriously like stepping back in a time machine. Yep. I couldn't remember all the fatalities for Mortal Kombat 2.
Yep.
But it's really like stepping back in time. Not only is 1989 a great place just to, you know, step through that time portal and get that wonderful sense of nostalgia, you can also get food. We've got booze and jaffles and a great array of cocktails and craft beer. And you can also bump into a local like Tom here, who we're just about to do a quick drink review with. G'day, Tom. Welcome to Kapow.
How you going? Thanks for having me.
No,
I am actually a local. I live pretty much down the road.
Hard standing local at that. I mean, you're the guy that's been here since day one.
I think I came here first in November 2016. I think it opened in July 2016.
Yeah.
So I was pretty early on.
So to be fair to say that it's not just a place you come in, have a drink, play a few arcade games and then take off. It can be a regular place for your drink.
I think it is a bar first and an arcade second, but it can be whatever you want it to be. If you don't drink alcohol, it is absolutely an incredible vintage arcade.
Yeah.
But if you drink beers especially, it's a fantastic craft beer bar. So it kind of is whatever you want it to be, depending on your preferences.
What are you drinking today?
It's a trap.
It's a trap!
It's a nod to Admiral Akbar. Crack and rum cocktail, like an old-fashioned style. A bit of orange garnish. So it's not your typical bourbon old-fashioned, it's similar, but it's a bit more dark and stormy, a bit more orange, zesty. It's actually pretty damn drinkable.
I'm on it's on like Donkey Kong, and it most certainly is when you drink this. Let's have a sip. It's fruity, it's tropical. I could say it's just barreled over my taste buds. But it's definitely got that tropical feel. And on top of that, it's got my favourite lollies on it. So there you have it. 1989 is not only a great place to walk in and service the nostalgic cockles of your heart. You can pick a beer from the extensive craft beer menu. You can grab a cocktail or just sit down with friends and relax. It's awesome. If you're in Sydney, make sure you do it. 22 to 24 King Street in Newtown, and stay tuned for the next episode of Geek Eats.
This episode is paired with Yullis Brews Bruce Malone, an English IPA. A lovely full-bodied malt-driven IPA of the English persuasion, with some noble English hop character. Wet your whistle with Yullis Brews.